Exclusively designed by Nixie Nax Arts, we bring you our second exclusive mat with the colossal Rainbow Neos taking on Red Eyes Dragoon, using both Dark Magician and Red Eyes alongside Elemental Hero Neos and of course Rainbow Dragon. Produced by Venom Battle Gear, this is an exclusive mat only available from their site. You can get this mat both with and without zones, and it can be shipped worldwide. What are you waiting for? Visit venombattlegear.co.uk to get your own exclusive Rainbow Neos versus Red Eyes Dragoon playmat. What's up YouTube? Dow here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you a competitive update to Harpie Ladies. Now Harpie's actually probably got the best promo from the Dragons of Legend set in the side of Cyber/Harpie Lady. But what I've done with this build is I've actually tried to build it to competitively, what I would take it to my locals, what I'd even take at a higher event. Now what this deck does have is it does contain probably one of the best deck-specific traps in the form of the Harpie's Featherstorm, just because it's a pure shutdown for your opponent and you can drop it from your hand. It is competitive, so there are some of the higher end cards in here, but as I go through it, I will explain what you can swap them in and out for. And during this weekend as well, Donald will bring you his version because it's going to be massively different to mine because there are a lot of different ways that you can play this deck. So, with that said and done, please smash the like button, hit the notification bell and subscribe so you do not miss out on any more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content. At the end of the video as well, I will bring you a couple of combos for this deck, both 2 cards buying defensive and or aggressive, alongside different options that you can actually play depending on what you get in your opening hand. With that said and done, let's crack into today's profile of Harpie Ladies. So we start off with Triple Harpie Perfumer. This is one of the best Harpie cards themselves, just because it instigates extension plays. So her on herself can actually now get you into the Cyber Slash. It can also get you into any rank 4 play as well, because the way this works is you normal summon or special summon Perfumer. She will then search you out your Elegant Egotist, which will then get you into your Harpie Lady, which straight away gives you rank 4 plays or level 8 synchro plays, mainly for only Cyber Slash, because she turns a Harpie into a tuner. This is the one that came in Legendary Collection 4. It is getting a reprint in January, or so we hope. So don't go breaking the bank, but it is very important for the build. If you haven't got it, try and pick them up cheaply without going too far. We've then got Triple Harpie Chandler. Now, of course, with this card on itself, again, is very, very good. Her plus Perfumer gets you, or just her with a Harpie discard, gets you into the Sugmore link, way under your Nibiru 5 summon target as well, and is very, very powerful. The one thing that we do use with the other engine in the deck is you do have to be careful when you do trigger her effect, because it can affect the outcome from the particular plays. But she does get everything going and does allow you to basically counts as a 6th copy of Perfumer, because Chandler can then get you into Perfumer once you've got the discard fodder in hand. For the other Harpie card, we do play Triple Harpie Harpist. So this one is basically a little bit slow, but it is your end phase searcher. So when it is normal summoned, you can target 1 winged beast monster you control other than this card, and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls return to the hand. It's rare you're going to be doing that in this particular build. What you're going to be doing more is you're going to be discarding this off of Chandler, or you're going to be bringing it out of the deck with Chandler to then use it as either level 4 synchro fodder or rank 4 fodder to then put it into the graveyard and then get an end phase search of 1 level 4 winged beast monster with 15 or less attack. So again, that then allows you to circle back through into your Perfumer and your Chandler, which gives you the bit more consistency that's going to be going round. We'll then play for our final Harpie Lady monster in the main deck, Double Harpie Lady 1. The reason we're playing double of this is it counts as Harpie Lady anywhere in the deck, field or grave, so you can only play a mixture of 3 between the original Harpies and this one actually gives all of your other wind monsters, all wind monsters, additional 300 attack. So this is the card that you summon out of your deck with Elegant Egotist. That then gives you rank 4 plays and gives you straight away Synchro 8 play for your Cyber Slash. Now, one other thing you've got to mention is with Perfumer, if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, she can actually add 2 cards that list Harpie Lady sisters in the text. Now, I'm not particularly relying on that effect, because ideally the only one that I'm playing in a deck that's going to be level 5 or higher is going to be the Slash, and the other cards that list Harpie Lady sister aren't really good to help the aggression of this deck. Now onto the other engine that gets everything going is Triple Windwitch Ice Bell, 1 Snow Bell and 1 Glass Bell. Now great timing because these have all just gotten brand new support. But what this does a little bit more than just Crystal Wing is it can produce a Cyber/Harpie that can't be destroyed by card effect. So it does give you another route to play, but what you do have to remember is if you're going to play this and then go into your Chandler plays, you're only going to be able to make a second one of this because you're locked into level 5 or higher monsters, and none of the Harpies are tuners unless they're used specifically to make this. So 9 times out of 10 you are going to go into Crystal Wing, and what that allows you to do is, again, gets you a negate before your 5th summon. It then means that all your protection for the Chandler plays, your Perfumer plays will all be protected to get you into a Cyber/. That will then allow you to have the trap card, and then the idea is you're going to use the trap card during your opponent's turn to bounce a card. Crystal Wing will negate a card, and then the trap is going to negate everything on top of that as well. So that's why this engine is so important. Donald is going to be playing a different version without this engine, which is absolutely fine. He didn't like the restrictions that the Ice Spells or the Windwitch actually provided to the deck, and I agree with him. I just thought that this was the most aggressive and defensive option because, like I said, we do play some of the higher end of the cards. So if you are able to turn your opponent's board off and then go straight into a Crystal Wing is then himself going to be able to clear that board off alongside a Cyber/, and you're going to be able to continue going from there. Then for our hand traps, we do play triple Ghost Ogre. I've kind of gone with this over Ash just because I think a lot of people, less people are expecting Ghost Ogre, and it'll actually hurt their future plays if you Ghost Ogre them over Ash in them. But this can be a 2/2, or you can put 3 Ashes in here, entirely up to you. Now we are playing the Submorg Link, so it does mean that we do play the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. What makes this even better in the deck is it locks your opponent out of special summoning, but not you. Because of the way we built this deck, we're actually going to be playing a lot of wind monsters, so you don't worry about the restrictions of Barrier Statue of Storm, and even during your turn you can use it as level 4 fodder to either go into the Cyber/ if you haven't already, or you can use it as level 4 to go into a rank 4 that's going to cause your opponent even more issues. But the idea is that just through opening up your Chandler will get you into the Submorlin, which will get you into the Barrier Statue, and then you back this up with the Harpie's Featherstorm. Because Harpie's Featherstorm just says if you control a winged beast monster, so you activate it from the field, you control a Harpie, you can activate it from the hand. So it does give you a full board lockdown. They can't special summon monsters, so they do need to normal summon a monster that's going to be stronger than the Barrier Statue, kill it without using any effects for the entire turn, and then they're still going to be like burning through their resources, and then during your next turn, you're going to be able to climb higher, use your Harpies, go into rank 4s, go into Utopia Double or Nothing, whatever you want, and finish the game off from there. I did also look at playing some more cards in the deck, but then it started to turn out to be more of a Submorg with a Harpie engine deck, and we wanted to aim for more with a Harpie deck with a Windwitch engine, and that's kind of where the power plays come from. Starting onto the spells, we do play Triple Pot of Extravagance. Now, the reason I've gone with this, and I'll explain it as I go through the extra deck, is the whole goal of this build is to get to your Crystal Wing, is to get to your trap. So you need to be able to get to those 2 pieces of the puzzle as early as you possibly can. If you get one without the other, you're fine. But ideally, if you've got to choose between the Crystal Ring or the trap, you're going to go with the trap. So I went with something a little bit more specific, a little bit more direct to get me exactly what I want. And I went with Pot of Extravagance. Now, another card that I haven't actually included in the deck, and I did it for a specific reason, was Hysteric Sign. Now, a lot of you straight away might go, what? Now, the reason I took it out is because in this particular build, because I'm going aggression and I'm going negate my opponent's board, clear the board off plays, there wasn't really a lot that I could do to send it to the grave. Whereas if I did want to go with that kind of play, what you could do is you replace the Extravagance with Magician's Souls. That way you're getting a send plus a draw, plus you're going to search in the end phase. Or you go for the old school or the nostalgic route of Harpies, where you're going to be popping your own Hysteric Sign and you're going to be popping your own spells and traps. But again, like I said, I want to make this competitive. This is the deck that, you know, you want to take to your locals, you're going to do incredibly well with, because you've got the balance of negates, boss monsters, brand new cards that people don't know what they do, plus you're going to be dropping that Harpie's Featherstorm on a consistent basis on your opponent. Then, of course, we've got Triple Forbidden Droplet. Now, again, I know a lot of people, you're like, oh, Forbidden Droplet, what's the point? This can be Dark Rulers No Mores, but the reason I've gone with Forbidden Droplets is purely because it is so good going first and second. And what I'm trying to do with my decks right now is you're not guaranteed to win the dice roll. You're not guaranteed that even if you lose the dice roll, that your opponent's definitely going to make you go first or go second. So having a card like Forbidden Droplet in the main deck gives you that ability that if you do go second, you can shut the board off and play. If you do go first, you can set it and then wait. And then if you get Dark Ruled or anything like that, you can then combat with a Forbidden Droplet. Now, like I said, you can put Dark Ruler No Mores in here without any issue at all in place of the Forbidden Droplet. The only issue is because this is a quick play, it allows you to set it and play it during your opponent's turn, whereas Dark Ruler No More doesn't allow you to do that. On top of that, Forbidden Droplet will also allow you to turn the opponent's board off, go straight in and still do damage. And then the idea is you're just going to pull them back from there, take away all of their pinpoints, because all you need in your opening hand, including a Forbidden Droplet, would be 3 cards. From those 3 cards, and with Forbidden Droplet sending cards, the remaining 2 cards in your hand is going to allow you to make a Crystal Wing, it's also going to allow you to make a Cyber/Harpie, and it's also going to allow you to bring out a Harpie Lady 1 to boost all your monsters by attacks as well. Not to mention you would have turned off 3 opponents' monsters and halved their attacks, and then you'll be swinging in for game. On top of that, if you want to go a more direct route, all you need is a Chandler or a Perfumer on her own, or a Chandler plus a Harpie to discard. That will get Utopia double. Utopia double them and swing through one of their boss monsters that's been halved, as long as it's below 2k, which the chances are it will do, and then get you game. So you need to be playing on the consistent basis to get you game, and that's where Forbidden Droplet comes in, a little bit above Dark Ruler No More. But of course there is a massive price difference, so Dark Ruler No More is the closest substitute and still does the job just as well. You just need to make sure that you're not just going Utopia double, clearing the board off. You need to have a defensive play to follow up with the next turn. True Call by the Grave, the Windwitch engine is the strongest part of, or one of the strongest parts of this deck, but also one of the weakest. But what it does do is it does allow you to kind of pull out hand traps, you know, like Ashes, Imperms, Veilers, Ogres are all going to target the Ice Bell. Whereas if you've played Extravagance, that will ideally bait out the Ash. Very few people let that Extravagance go through. Then it means all you're needing to worry about is a Veiler, Imperm, or Ogre. And again, if your opponent is dropping them on you on that build, you've still got the ability to use your Harpie later on. If they Imperm it as well, you're not locked into level 5s, but you still have the ability from that point onwards to then do your Harpie plays pretty much uninterrupted. And if you're able to get to the trap card, they're going to burn through 2, if not 3 cards from their opening hand, and you're going to be able to shut them down with no response. So Call by the Grave, you want to try and make sure that you get as much advantage from your Windwitch engine as possible and your Harpie engine as possible, because like I said, your Harpies can lead you straight into the Submorg, the Windwitch leads you into Crystal Wing, and there's a lot of balance between the two. Finishing up, or well, coming up to the end of the spells, we've got double Elegant Egotist and a 1 double or nothing. Bit of a brick, but of course if you get this off of Utopia, you're going to have game. Elegant Egotist, we're playing 2 of this. It's not a hard once per turn, and it basically allows you to get that Harpie Lady 1 from the deck to boost all your monsters, give you rank 4 plays, give you level 8 synchro plays, whatever you need. It is a free extender that is searchable. Moving on to the traps, we've got 3 of the best trap, and hopefully after the Banish, its second effect will become relevant. So if you control a Wind Wing Beast monster until the end of this turn, negate any monster's effect your opponent activates. If you control a Harpie monster, you can activate this card from your hand. If this card in its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Harpie's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Now obviously the second part of that effect is null and void because we aren't actually allowed to play Harpie's Feather Duster in Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG right now. But the first effect is incredibly powerful. It is an incredibly powerful trap. If it was generic, it would be banned in my opinion. But because it's not generic in like the sense of all decks can play it, it is a card you need to see. And because it's a card we need to see, I've gone with triple Trap Tricks over triple Hysteric Sign. And like I said, the only card that I have to send Hysteric Sign from the field or hand to the graveyard right now would have been Droplet. And to me that wasn't enough because I don't really want to be going Droplet, turn off my opponent's board, then searching the end phase because I'm a turn too late on that. And then there's no way of me getting it first turn. So Trap Trick allows me to get to Harpie's Featherstorm turn 1 and basically allows me to play technically 6 copies of Harpie's Featherstorm. If you want to, like I said, you could take out the triple Trap Tricks, take out the triple Extravagance, put in 3 Magician's Souls, put in your Hysteric Sign, and then you've got more consistent ways of sending it from the field to the graveyard to get you the consistent basis of getting into your Harpie's Featherstorm during the end phase as well. But Trap Trick also serves a double purpose because it can banish an infinite impermanence and get you that as well. So if you've already got Heavy Storm, you can go for an infinite impermanence. And another final trap tech that a lot of people might or may not have thought about in this particular build, because you end your board on 2 level 8 monsters, what you can also bring into the fold if you don't want to go for your Harpie's Featherstorm, or you already have it, is Red Nova. Now, Red Nova is a normal trap card that came out in Eternity Code, and it basically reads, let me grab it in front of me. The second effect is a bit redundant. You're not going to use it at all because you're not going to have a level 8 Dark Dragon, but you're going to end your board on 2 level 8 synchros. If you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster, banish all monsters on the field except the monster or monsters with the highest level. Now, if you're ending on a Cyber Slash and a Crystal Wing, they both could be level 8s. They're both not going to get banished. Also, the remaining face-up monsters on the field are unaffected by other card effects except their own. So, if you were to shotgun this, now obviously they would need to have monsters on the board to make it relevant, but if you were to try and shotgun this, it does mean that they would then become unaffected by Dark Rule No More, and it is a trap card. So if they were to Dark Rule No More you, try and bait you out of a monster, anything like that, then you can flip the Red Nova. I think Red Nova is a nice little tech that I'm even considering putting in this deck. All you need to do is play 2 copies of it, because again, Trap Tricks covers it. And then what that allows you to do is, if you want to, what you can do is you play the Harpie's Feather Storm, your opponent tries to extend, you then flip them with the Red Nova during the end phase, banish all their monsters, you've triggered the Cyber Slash, which will allow you to bounce a monster if you want it to as well, and then you kind of extend your plays through the next turn, and like I said, because your Crystal Wing survived, your Cyber Slash has survived, and by that end turn of your first turn board, you should have been able to search out another Perfumer. You can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that the next turn is going to follow up that board with a rank 4, and you're going to be able to win from there. Not to mention, you still have a Cyber Harpie Lady, so if you were to get another Harpie's Feather Storm, you could drop that from your hand during your turn, meaning your opponent can't interact with their monster effects, and you're probably going to win the duel from that point on. Now, that is it for the main deck. Now on to the extra deck. So we start off with this. Now, this is an extravagance build, so at the moment, all I'm going to be showing you is the options you have. Now, I'll show you the extravagance cards I will be bumping up to 3 once I get the other parts of them because of this extravagance build itself. So, we would play triple Cyber Slash Harpie Lady. Straightforward and simple on that one. Kind of want to play 3 of that. We would then play 2 if not 3 Utopia, 2 if not 3 Double, and then 2 if not 3 Beyond. Because what I like about Beyond is, if you can't kill your opponent's monsters outright with 1 strike, what Beyond will do will put them all to 0, and then Beyond is going to swing in for 3k, 25 there, 26 there, and then 3k off your Crystal Wing, so it gives you more attacks and the opportunity to get game without even having to drop the double or nothing as well. You can just turn one of these on. We would then play triple Samorg, the Bird Link. So again, you don't have to play triples of each of these, but these are just like, we'd probably play 2s of each of the Utopias, triple Cyber Slash or double Cyber Slash, triple Samorg because that is one of your first go-to cards. You're looking along the lines of triple Windbell and then triple Crystal. These are the main ones. So these are the main ones you're going to want to go into as early as you possibly can. They're the ones that on this particular build is going to get you your game. So you're looking at 12s here and then 1s of each of these. So you'd probably put 2 level 7s in. You'd put 2 of the double, 1 of each of these, so then you've got the option of going to Utopia OTK, or you've got the Beyond OTK play, maybe 2 of these, triple of the Crystal Wing, and some more. So they're the goal for the extravagance build that I will be updating once I get at least 1 more Cyber Slash. Now, if you're not playing the extravagance build and you're going for a full 15 card extra deck, here are the other cards that I would highly advise you play and put in. So we'd be playing the 1 Harpie Conductor, the 1 Raid Raptor Blade Burner Falcon. This just requires 2 level 4 Winged Beast type monsters. If this card is XYZ summoned and your opponent's life points are at least 3,000 higher than yours, you can make this card gain 3,000 attack. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can detach any number of XYZ materials from this card, destroy exactly that number of monsters your opponent controls. So, if you were, for example, to Forbidden Droplet your opponent's board, negate your opponent's Appaloosa, or just as long as you make something less than 1,000 attacks, so let's say you got Herald in defense or anything like that, attack this, kill Herald with this, detach 2 materials, kill Crystal Ring, kill Savage Dragon, kill Appaloosa, and then you can build your board on from there. So it just gives you another alternative out. The 1 Ice Beast Zerafrane, again, I really like this card. It's a shame it never got a higher rarity. Again, 2 level 4 Winged Beast. Once per turn, detach a material from this card. Negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. And if you do, this card gains 300 attack for each face-up card currently on the field, except itself. These effects are applied until the next standby phase. So you get yourself a beefy monster that's going to turn off your opponent's monster. So again, if you only have the ability to get 2 rank 4s on board and you're not going to be able to get the Utopia OTK kill, what you can do is you can go into the Zerafrane and you can turn off your opponent's entire board until your next standby phase. Double Lightning Chidori. Gotta love Chidori. So again, 2 level 4 wind monsters. When this card is XYZ summoned, you target one set card your opponent controls, return that target to the bottom of the deck. And then once per turn, detach 1 material from this card and target 1 face-up monster on the field. 1 face-up card your opponent controls, return that to the top of the deck. So again, you can kind of slightly brick your opponent, but again, this comes off of the back of a Forbidden Droplet or Dark Ruler no more. Then we've got the 1 Clearwing Fast Dragon. This can easily be Clearwing, entirely up to you, either one of yours. This one just gives you the ability to target a face-up monster your opponent controls that was special from the extra deck, and until the end of the turn, change the attack to 0. And if you wanted to, if you did play the Speed Rod engine, which is what Donald is going to be trying to do, you can also bring this one back from the Pendulum Zone. We've then got, to finish everything up, 1 Battle Wasp Harmer the Conquering Bow. This is your aggressor, so this is your go second. If this card was synchro summoned using a synchro monster, which you will do because you'll go up through a level 7 into it, it can declare a second attack during each battle phase. And then you can use each of the following effects once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 1,000 attack. Nice, means that its second attack is going to do more damage, and it also means everything else is going to be weaker for your next line of attacks, which will probably come from your Cyber/Harpie. At the end of the battle phase, if your opponent has taken any battle damage or hasn't taken any battle damage, you can inflict 300 points of damage to each Battle Wasp monster in your graveyard. Now, obviously, you're not going to have loads of Battle Wasps. It's mainly for its first effect to give you 2 attacks, 2800 boost, and reduce all your opponent's monsters by 1,000 attack. And then finally, we've got the Mistworm. The reason we've got the Mistworm is when this card is synchro summoned, you can target up to 3 cards your opponent controls and return them to the hand. It is a level 9. Now, what this means, in order to make your level 9 Mistworm, what you'll need to do is you get the Glass Bell, the Snow Bell, plus one of your level 4 Harpies. So if you're just looking to clear board off without destruction, and you've possibly gone Dark Ruler No More or Forbidden Droplet, what you then do is, rather than making Crystal Wing, you keep your Ice Bell in defense, or you put it in attack if you want to do a little bit of damage, depending on what board negator you've used. You make your Mistworm. You should still, from that point on, have... if you open up Chandler, you'll have 2 level 4 Harpies and the level 3 Ice Bell. If you don't, and you only get 2 level 4 Harpies, then what you'll leave yourself with is you'll leave yourself with 1 level 4 Harpie, the level 3 Ice Bell, and chances are that'll be a Harpie Lady 1. So this will go up by 300, your Ice Bell will go up by 300, and your Harpie Lady 1 will go up by 300. So you've got 3 monsters attacking. This is going to clear 3 cards, depending on what you're worried about. So this is, if you're not playing Extravagance, this is how much variety you can have in your extra deck. There are other cards like Baguska, Tornado Dragon, Gaga Cowboy that you can do, and you can also bump up some of the other options as well. If you play the Speed Rod engine, you've got Rubber Band Shooter that you can also put in here as well. But if you're playing the Extravagance build, like I said, the main cards you want to be going for are focusing on these ones here. Now, ultimately, this is just the tech that I use and beyond. So these are kind of like the 6 cards you want. And even then, you probably go 3, 3, 3, 2, 2 and 2. So you've got the variety that you can play around with. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's show you how this deck works. So, let's show you a couple of 2-card combos. Very, very simple. Now, ideally, you kind of want to back whatever the combo is up with one of these 2 cards, so Traptrix or Harpie's Featherstorm, because it just gives you a full board lockout. Now the 2 combos we are going to start off with is we're going to start off with the Ice Bell plus either Chandler or Perfumer. If you start off with Perfumer, you're going to end up getting pretty much no excess. So from this point on, if you had Chandler, you'd need an additional discard of a Harpie, and then you'd only get an additional monster on the board, which doesn't really do anything apart from boost all your monsters by 300. So the first combo is going to be this, and the second combo is going to be this. This is just to get you the most advantage. This can be any Harpie card. One will end you in a full lockout, the other will end you in a Crystal Wing and a Cyber Slash, one with a negate and an indestructible monster, the other one with both dodging Nibiru as well, by the way, so very, very important. So let's start off with the first combo. So we'll start off with Windwitch Ice Bell. You special summon this card because you control no monsters. Trigger her effect to burn your opponent for 500, which is always a good start, and also special summon out from your deck Glass Bell. Glass Bell will then allow you to add Snow Bell and Burn, and then you're going to special summon down the Snow Bell. You're then going to sync your Ice Bell and your Glass Bell and go into, if you're feeling risky, Winter Bell. The risk of this is if they Ghost Ogre, really, really bad position. If you want to be safe, you just put it into a crystal wing or you just use it as a stepping stone. But this can then burn again for your opponent. You're going to end up burning your opponent for like 1600, I believe it is. You sync these two together and you go into a crystal wing. Now, remember, the second you use Ice Spell, you're locked into level 5 or higher wind monsters from the extra deck, so that's where the limitation comes in on your link monsters and your XYZs. Now, you still have your normal summons. You're going to normal summon your Perfumer. Perfumer's effect is going to go off. It is treated as Harpie Lady on the field, so you do get to add an Elegant Egotist. You're going to add the Elegant Egotist, and this is going to allow you to special summon one Harpie Lady from your deck. Specifically Harpie Lady, which is why you can only bring out Harpie Lady 1, because she is specifically Harpie Lady always. And then straight away, because you're breaking out your Harpie Cyber, or your Cyber/Harpie, she will allow you, for this card Synchro Summon, you can treat one Harpie monster you control as a tuner. This card's name becomes Harpie Lady while on the field or in the graveyard. When a spell or trap or effect is activated, except during the damage step, quick effect, target one monster your opponent controls or one Harpie monster you control, return it to the hand. Only use this effect once per turn. So even if your opponent triggers a spell or trap, you'll be able to compulse one of your opponent's monsters, which is really, really nice. It's a shame that it targets, because if it didn't, then it could actually be a very nice out to Dragoons as well. Yeah. So then that's your end board. Now, of course, you're still going to have 3 more cards in your hand to play around with, and you're hoping, or the ideal is that one of them is going to be a Trap Trick or a Harpie's Featherstorm, and then literally what you're going to do with your opponent is you're going to go... You could hold this if you want, I wouldn't advise it, but you can drop this from your hand so your opponent can't just like blind MST or anything like that, just no risking whatsoever. Drop the Harpie's Featherstorm during your opponent's turn, shut off their effects. Yes, it means Crystal Wing's not going to be able to trigger its effect, but it does mean that Crystal Wing can negate it earlier on if you want it to, and you do want to hold this back, entirely up to you. And then what that will then do is if your opponent has set a monster, you can trigger this to bounce it. So it really depends on the order you want to hold it to, but the idea is you're going to shut your opponent down for an entire turn using this. You're still then going to have 2 cards to play with, plus the one you're going to draw. And if you were able to get a Harpie's Harpist to the graveyard, you're then going to be able to trigger out and search and kind of build up from there. So that was combo number 1. Combo number 2, again, very, very simple. This one's actually quite common. A lot of people playing this before the new Cyber Slash. So you normal summon your Chandler. Chandler's effect will go off to ditch a Harpie Harpist. Is the best one, because then you get to trigger her effect in the end phase, but as long as you've got another Harpie card, then you're all good. That will then special summon out Perfumer. Perfumer's effect will then get you Egotist. Activate Egotist, gets you Harpie Lady 1. Boom, all 3 of those. Into some more. This is your 4th summon. And then during the end phase, remember Nibiru can only trigger in the main phase, you then get to special summon out your Barrier Statue of Winds. Now again, the idea is you're going to be able to back this up with either a Featherstorm or of course a Trap Tricks, just to kind of go, cool, not only are you not allowed to special summon monsters apart from Winds, but you're also going to have all your effects negated, because this one would have to be set, I control Winged Beast, so a Winged Beast monster. So it's all active and it's all live. Now the one thing that I mentioned at the start of the profile about Chandler is if you do the Crystal Wing combo and you drop Chandler, you actually can't make Crystal Wing, because if you make Crystal Wing, Chandler becomes a level 7, which then means that you will leave Chandler on the board and have to use Harpie level 1 and Perfumer to make your Synchro. And ideally you want to be using Chandler and your Perfumer, because then Harpie level 1 will boost all of your other wind monsters. So that's one thing you've got to keep in mind about it, but sometimes it's a little less risky to, you know, depending on what you go for with the Chandler once you use her normal summon effect. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. But again, just to kind of reiterate all of the combos, if you were to open up, even if you open up one of these, so as long as you open up Perfumer, let's say you open up Perfumer with, I don't know, at least 1 to send and your Forbidden Droplet, or even if it's not a send and that's a Dark Ruler no more. You do this, you go into Perfumer, Perfumer brings you out Elegant Egotist, Harpie Lady, overlay, go double, Utopia double for game, or you've got Chidori plays, like that's where the rank 4s will then come in and just, you know, so much you can do with just 2 cards in the deck once you get them. That's what makes the deck so good and so competitive right now. Now I know this was a long video, but I hope this kind of explains absolutely everything I can for the Harpie deck. And why I've got a bit of passion for it right now. I think it's actually got a very good chance, and like I said, I still think that the trap is one of the best. But for now, please smash that like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and as absolutely always, guys, stay safe and happy dueling. Exclusively designed by Nixie Nax Arts, we bring you our second exclusive mat with the colossal Rainbow Neos taking on Red Eyes Dragoon, using both Dark Magician and Red Eyes alongside Elemental Hero Neos and of course Rainbow Dragon. Produced by Venom Battle Gear, this is an exclusive mat only available from their site. You can get this mat both with and without zones, and it can be shipped worldwide. What are you waiting for? Visit venombattlegear.co.uk to get your own exclusive Rainbow Neos versus Red Eyes Dragoon playmat.